captivated audience. That's brilliant. Okay. All right. So the first person I want to introduce you to is Genevieve. You come up here.
Hi.
Genevieve, if you can say hi to Genevieve. Right. So Genevieve is the head of a dating agency, Elect in Central London.
Yes.
Right. An expert in dating. Okay. I thought I was an expert because I've been on lots of dates. She's a proper expert. All right. So I'll give it over to you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, JP. Well, welcome everybody. As JP said, I run a company called Elect Club. I'm a relationship and dating coach internationally. I train matchmakers around the world. I'm also the expert for Sky TV. So I do a lot of media as well. What I want to do with everybody here today is I want to get you all talking to each other. So we're going to do a quick icebreaker. Because the one thing that you need to do when you're looking for love or when you're dating is talk to people and communicate, right? Yeah? Is that right? Yeah. Yeah, great. So first thing I want you to do is I want you to go and I want you to find someone that you don't know, that you've never spoken to before, and give them a compliment. Now give them a compliment that's sincere. So do they look nice? Do they look, something that's good about them. So find someone you don't know. You've got 1 minute to just pay someone you don't know a compliment. Go on. I still don't know you. So let's find out. Are you still paying each other compliments? Okay. Everyone back over here for a second. So how did that feel, receiving a compliment from someone that you don't know? How did it feel? Nice. Feels good, doesn't it? Yeah. And how does it feel giving a compliment to somebody? It's good, isn't it? So we don't do it enough. And in dating, it's really, really important to give and receive compliments and to make them authentic. So we're going to talk about expectations, because it's one of my areas of expertise. And expectations can set you up to succeed, or you can fail completely when it comes to dating. So I want you to think about, what are your expectations? What are you genuinely looking for in a person? So are you looking for things that don't really exist? Or are you looking for things that are real? So I'm going to tell you some of the things that I've heard in 24 years of doing matchmaking, and some of the things that I've heard that have set people up to fail. Okay? And the main thing I hear is about appearance. Okay? Lots of people want to meet someone, women in particular want a tall man. Okay? Let me tell you something, ladies. More often than not, the really tall guys are quite hard to come by. They are quite hard to come by. So if you're only looking for tall guys, open your paradigms up a little bit. And if you're not tall yourself, there's no reason for you to go for a guy who's over 6 foot. So keep your options open on height. The other thing is, men go for size in women. Oh, I want a size 8, a size 10, but then I want to have children. Well, do you think that woman's going to still be a size 8 to 10 after she's had children? Hello, let's get real here. So we have these conversations with people all the time. So what I would say, and it's one of the first things I do, is I get with my clients and I find out what are their expectations, and is it the expectations that are unrealistic and holding them back? So that's a conversation you need to have with yourself. The other thing is, when we look at our expectations and our reality of dating, where are we looking? Are we closing ourselves off to other types of people, and why are we closing ourselves off? So have a bit of a reality and a sense check. One of the things I say is ask your friends and family, what am I doing wrong? It's not what am I doing right, but what am I doing wrong when it comes to dating? Because more often than not, if you are ready to hear it, they're ready to tell you. Okay? But sometimes we're not ready to ask the questions. So ask people that you know, that you're very close to, where am I going wrong? What are the things that I'm doing when it comes, what are my expectations that are holding me back? Because people will tell you, they will be honest with you. So I always say to people, have 3 expectations and make them about values and beliefs. So let's just have you here. What's your main expectation when it comes to dating?
I think open-mindedness.
Okay.
I just like someone unusual that likes something that's not socially acceptable.
Oh, okay. Okay. So do you know what that is? That's not socially
when I'm
acceptable?
talking to people who are narcissists, by the way, more men than women are narcissists. Sorry. And clinically more men than women. So, how can you tell? There are different areas of narcissism. Not all of it's bad. We all need a healthy dose of narcissism. So, for example, the areas are authority. Someone who's high in authority wants to be a leader. They want to be the boss. They want you to know that they know everything. That's great if you have a boss who is high on authority. However, if they are high in exploitativeness, that's another area where you're happy to exploit other people for your gain. That's not great. Then there's exhibitionism, people who like to show off. Then there's vanity, and most importantly, entitlement. Okay? So, how will you know someone is a narcissist on a date? Has anyone ever been on a date with a narcissist?
Many times.
Many times. Actually, the interesting thing, it's a true fact, okay? I've spent years and years and years and years putting tests together, working with psychopaths, narcissists. And here's the thing, I could delete all that just by asking someone, are you a narcissist? Someone who's highly narcissistic will say, yeah, and fuck you. They do. They are very literal about it. So, how can you tell? As we're talking about first dates, and this is a restaurant, let's think about this. The first thing you will hear, listen guys, watch what somebody does and listen to what they say. Watch and listen. The first thing, they'll talk non-stop about themselves. That whole date will be about them. Me, 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 me. And they make their world special and enticing. You begin to feel, oh God, this person is special. Because they truly believe they're special, they believe their world is special. They make it all about them. If at the end of the third date with that person, you feel neglected, that's a red flag. It's a massive red flag. I'd say run the other way.
That's by the end of the first date. It doesn't need to be the third.
Well, yeah,
Do you run after,
Yeah.
after the meal before you get the second
well,
meal?
yeah. But here's the thing, ladies. It's usually ladies. Ladies will often fall in love with the potential. They don't fall in love with what they see. They fall in love with what they think that man can be. And they spend the rest of the relationship being resentful because he's not that way. You can't want something more than somebody else wants it. Yeah, it's not going to work. So they spend a lot of the time talking about them. And if you make the conversation about you, they will very cleverly make it about them. They'll switch the subject very, very, very quickly. Okay? So that's a red flag. Definitely, they make it about them. Now watch, remember, you watch the behaviour and you listen. So watch how they handle when things don't go wrong. For example, in a restaurant, when things don't go, when things don't go their way, watch how they treat people. Do they demean them? Especially waiters. How do they treat the waiters? Are they charming to the waiter or the waitress, whatever, Are they charming to begin with because they're a new audience they're trying to impress, but the minute they don't get what they want or the waitress makes them feel not very special, they'll turn. Right? Red flag, big, big red flag. Remember, watch their behaviour and listen to what they say and believe it. Okay? That's important. When someone tells you that they're selfish, believe them.
We've got one final speaker for you in the way and the name and the shape and form of Kathrine. Who's here? Kathrine, thank you very much. Kathrine, please come forward. And Kathrine's our final speaker before I close off. And Kathrine is, how would you want me to describe you?
I am a therapist. A therapist that works primarily in dating and relationships.
Fantastic. So, dating and relationships experts. Now, all right, for those of you that want to hear from a guy as an expert, you know, someone who studied dating and has got the qualifications and experience, no, there aren't any here because none of them would come to speak. All right, and I think we're in this era where at the moment women have elevated themselves a lot and they're very strong, they're very powerful and great. But a lot of guys don't seem to want to stand up and also have their voice for whatever reason. If any guys do want to speak today, I'm happy to hear from you. But in the meantime, please listen to Kathrine. Very, very lovely girl and very, very poignant point of view. So Kathrine, please.
Can I just ask you guys to keep it slightly quiet so I can hear myself speak? All right? Appreciate that. Okay, so a point about like why men aren't stepping up to the plate, which is not about my talk at all, but just to touch upon that, I think masculinity and how we're defining masculinity at the moment is sort of in a transitionary period. So women, we know, like we want to know, we are very clear on who we want to become, but men are stuck in this point of like, they know not what they're not supposed to be from the past, but they're not exactly sure how to redefine masculinity. So that's a whole nother talk for a whole nother time. Today you're here to discuss dating and relationships. So that's what we'll focus on.
Can I just ask that, right?
Sure.
So I just want to ask you, when you say men don't know what they are from the past,
They know what they don't want to be from the past.
Right, so
they don't know what they're moving towards.
okay, so as an example, my dad historically was someone who's quite strong, take care of his family. My mum and dad, where's my mum? Mum? My mum and my dad have been together for nearly 50 years, right? And my dad had a role of being the man of the house, taking care of the home. So what you're saying is guys now...
Don't know, because we can do that for ourselves as women, right? But we still want our men to be strong and
Right.
competent.
Okay.
It's just, that's where it's a little bit fuzzy, because
So what do we do?
what does strength
But it's
and
so true.
competency mean nowadays?
All right, so what do you as women want from us?
Well,
and
what do we
do
want?
deliver?
What do we want,
Yeah,
women?
what do you want?
So when I say we want our men to be strong and confident, all of the women agree. So what does strong and competency in a masculine man look to you guys? In modern day,
Yeah, that's the question.
I think it's exactly the same as